Well, obviously, the zero-rated VAT items will continue. It has to continue, given the fact that we still need to have stability as far as the commodity prices are concerned. But the budget itself will be very much focused on seeing how we can mitigate those risks that people face. But you also have to remember that we have to also continue with infrastructure development too. There are a lot of people who still want access to electricity, water, and we have expanded. You would have seen, for example, a lot of the roads are getting fixed up around, those of you who live around in the Suvarnasori corridor, the smaller streets that had not been fixed up for quite some time are getting all fixed up. And this was, as you know, part of the overall plan which we had announced last year, that the moment we have fiscal flexibility, we'll be able to get FRA to do, for example, those works. And it's critically important. We're getting a lot of positive feedback from members of the public that many of the streets that are on the sides, as opposed to just the main roads, are getting fixed up also. Street lights are being put in. Because we also have only one window of opportunity. This is the dry season. And you would have seen the amount of saturation we had during the cyclone period. It's too much rain. And it does limit an amount of work that FRA can do. So this window of opportunity is there. The cyclone season again starts in November. We're only a few months away from that cyclone season. So FRA is really geeing up all the works that it can do during this dry season. And as you know, even in the dry season, we're still getting rain. But you'll see wherever possible we find the fiscal space, we're carrying out those works. It has also helped us with the fact that the tourism numbers are looking good. The revenue streams, of course, from that is looking buoyant too. Fiji Airways, if you talk to anybody, if they traveled recently, is actually flying on fairly good loads. So there's a lot of positive change in that respect, but we cannot simply rest on that. We need to be strategic about it. We need to have a long-term goal about it. So we've also been looking at other industries, as we have mentioned that we need to invest, for example, in what we call a clean manufacturing subdivision that we're looking at. This has been on the cards for some time, of course, because the cyclones got delayed, but FNPF is now coming on board. A number of our development partners are talking to us about it. Because some of the countries in the region want to have manufacturing closer to home. In the same way, for example, we have the BPO sector. We've had some discussions, the PS and we had some discussions together with the team with a fairly large company that's very keen to enter the Fijian market. There's certain OECD rules that they need to adhere to, and we'll try to see in what level of flexibility we can apply so we can entice them to come to Fiji and create that number of jobs that's required, of course, in this space, because we have to ensure that the young people, the graduates, also continue to get jobs. We've also seen a demand for people who have completed their graduate studies, who want to go overseas, but they have their loans to pay. So we've given some flexibility in terms of the guarantors, etc. But the fact is that many of them are committed, of course, to paying their debt. But we also have to look at what kind of further flexible arrangements we can, have in that space to be able to ensure that they also get livelihoods and be able to, address those issues.